What's up, y'all? It's T-Tar, and the new trailer for the Indigo disc, along with the info on their site, has told us, revealed the Indigo disc's final villain. Now, I wish it didn't, you know? Why know the villain going forward? But it has. So we're gonna talk about it and cover everything about it in this video, and it starts right here at the end of the trailer. So at the end of the trailer, it shows Terupagus terastalizing. You can see all 18 types light up. It's like terastalizing 18 times at once to become the 19th type. They don't show the form, but we know that's what's underneath. And it ends up showing this key art of the Indigo disc, which is so badass. It is one of the coolest artworks I've seen in a long time. So this pretty much captures the climax of the Indigo disc. The Ultra Necrozma, the Eternamax Eternatus, Origin, Dialga, and Palkia. This is the incident here. We talked about it a bit last time, but at the key art, it doesn't show Nemona, Arven, Penny. It's very focused on interesting characters. We have us, of course, in our Blueberry outfit because we have to beat Blueberry Academy to get to this ending of the game. And then the other three characters are Carmine, Briar, and Super Saiyan Kieran. Okay, Kieran is the final villain of this game. It's perfectly described here, and I'm gonna take it on a little timeline of them hinting this. But the dynamic here is Kieran's clearly gone crazy. Look at his hand. He's commanding that Terupagus. That Terupagus is terastalizing, not even on its own. He's doing it. You can also see some shattering here. I don't know what that's supposed to indicate, but if you notice, when it shows us, Briar, and Carmine, they're perfectly normal crystals. But the one that's shattered is the one reflecting Kieran. This is the layout you see when you're doing Terra raids, you know, the same image reflecting everywhere. It's to show either, if this was a normal like anime, that would pretty much be a hint that Kieran gonna die. But this is Pokemon, so it probably just symbolizes that he's crazy and causing all the incidents. Before we even talk about this, let's go down the timeline. So this is the second key art for the Indigo disc. When these DLCs were first announced, it already teased Kieran being the final villain. See, I take all these notes when I'm making these videos, but a lot of times I don't end up actually covering them. This is something I wanted to talk about. It all starts here in the first key art for the Indigo disc, where, you know, this is showing the first part of the DLC where we're just dealing with the Indigo Elite Four. But this came out before even the Teal mask came out. So all it really is it's showing us versing the Blueberry Elite Four and then featuring the returning characters that we are about to meet in the Teal mask. But if you look carefully, you'll notice two things. The first is every character here, you can see their face. The only one you cannot is Kieran. This is to symbolize something's up with this man. And the second thing is, look at his hand. The purple aura was there from the start. This is before the Teal mask came out. But from the start, they hid Kieran's face and gave him that aura as a little teaser to anyone who could see it. When the Teal mask comes out, you see him doing the cutscene where he punches the Shrine of the Loyal Three and the three come back to life. Now, what we can make out from the new trailer, it doesn't sound like Dokutaro really is involved at all, which lines up with what Ku said, right? That the second DLC is complete without the Momo part. It sounds like Kieran just got some crazy evil aura that he slowly awakens after you lie to him in the Teal mask, and then you get Ogerpon instead of him. But it festers and he gains this like false courage or power. Fast forward a bit, also in earlier trailers, they showed Blueberry Academy. Remember when someone's tossing the Pokeball up? Now we know that that was Kieran. And then even in early trailers, you can see Kieran with this little red tank on, foreshadowing he's the Blueberry champion, and then now they revealed it. So the story is starting to paint itself. After we beat the Teal mask, we go to Blueberry Academy, beat the Elite Four, and so here's one thing, right? Kieran's clearly the champion of the Blueberry League, but I've been thinking a bit of how he could be the champion, and did he beat the Blueberry Elite Four in the time it took us to go to Blueberry Academy? And in that case, could they reveal that like Drayden was the actual champion, and just before we came there, Kieran took the spot, kind of reflecting Blue in the first Pokemon games, how Lance was actually the champion? Or what we're seeing, especially since you can see people watching around the ring, it gives a bit of a tournament vibe, right? So what if what's actually happening at Blueberry Academy at the end is a tournament, kind of like in Galar, and Kieran is just at the top of the bracket along with you, with the Blueberry Elite Four already defeated. So in that sense, he could be the champion too. Either way, it seems the story being painted is after we beat him as champion, where he probably already has his Dipplin evolution and he's clearly really strong, that he doesn't let it go after you beat him. And something snaps in him after, and he like takes Terubicus research or something, and he heads to Area Zero. And Carmine knows something is up, so she follows as well. And this ultimately leads to the new key artwork, where Kieran is it's crazy. Kieran awakening Terubicus. Carmine, of course, concerned because she clearly knows Kieran's not in his right mind. And then, of course, we've got Briar. Who else to be at the very core of Area Zero witnessing the climax than this girl who told us she's not very capable of battling? But who better to witness this insane moment with that crazy insane grin, holding the page that Heath left 200 years ago. And if you look at the key artwork, it's not Terubicus in its final form, but it is a perfect reflection of what Heath left in his book. You can remember, you saw all those stars. I swear you could see Jupiter and all. This has to do with Terubicus's power. We don't fully understand it yet, but the same star layout is starting to become visible even in this image. She's witnessing the exact same thing Heath wrote right here. So yeah, the Pokemon Company has just told us that Kieran is the final villain, and this is something that's I don't think ever happened in Pokemon. You never get to see a villain succeed in their plans, and then you're like fighting final form Frieza, you know what I mean? So Archie, he doesn't capture Kyogre and then you stop him. Neither does Cyrus. Lusamine, the moment she deals a bit with Ultra Space crap, Necrozma comes crashing down. It always looks like the villains fail before they can reach their dreams. This is the first time the villain succeeded. He got Terubicus. Terubicus looks like it's a peaceful pacifist Pokemon, neutral. He's the one wielding it that's gonna cause it to go crazy. And maybe what Heath really saw was a vision from the future that Kieran's gonna try to destroy the world one day, something along those lines. Could you imagine, you know, that final battle where we are speculating a 4-way terror raid against Terubicus, which, you know, since our friends aren't here, I kind of feel like it won't happen. And I kind of don't want it to happen at this point. I like being the only ones to witness Terubicus with this cast here. But let's say somehow Arvin, Penny, and Mona are here and it's a 4-way terror raid. Could you imagine, you're not just fighting a wild Terubicus, that Kieran is on the other side of that terror raid commanding the Terubicus. Could you imagine? Bro, Kieran wants to battle and he sends out Terubicus. Or if not that, when you first arrive to Area Zero, Kieran fights you and he sends out Terubicus only as far as its terrestrial form. And then after you beat him, maybe something about the situation causes Terubicus to go crazy, or Kieran, not wanting to give up, causes Terubicus to go crazy, and he's not controlling it anymore, but now Terubicus is released in its chaos form. The last thing to ask you guys is if you think anyone could end up dying after this. I don't think so. I don't think Kieran or Briar is gonna die, even though their stories have come to an end by this point. So technically, it sounds like they could. Pokemon themselves, you know, they added that Sawda and Turo died. And I know Pokemon is a game for kids, but imagine how sick a villain it would make Kieran if he actually dies at the end. Look, his freaking crystal is shattered. You never know. But yeah, y'all, Kieran is so much better a villain. I couldn't ask for anyone better. I don't want freaking Cyrano. I don't want Briar. I like this Briar here. I wanted it to be him. And especially him doing all this without Dokutaro's involvement makes it so much more clean. It's just fully him doing this. Maybe it might come out later Dokutaro is involved, but right now I like him being in full control of himself when he does this choice. Alright, we're gonna go to the site and see what new details they added. A yet undiscovered place within Area Zero. This is wild. There's that key art again. During your adventure in the second DLC, you will return to Paldea and descend the Great Crater once more, visiting a yet undiscovered place within Area Zero. What exactly is the hidden treasure of Area Zero? And what is Terubicus' hidden power? There's a lot of mystery going on here, and it is crazy. It is just 6 days away. Whatever music plays down in this crystal area, it's about to be freaky. Especially if Terubicus is this astral Pokemon, it's gonna be like trance music. Like a nightmare almost. Unlock the power to fly with Koraidon and Miraidon. The legendary Pokemon Koraidon and Miraidon will gain the power to fly for the first time when you take on the Elite Trial. While at first this power is believed to be just temporary, it can be apparently made permanent, allowing Koraidon and Miraidon to fly at any time, but only once you've made it far enough in your adventure. Oh, we got the Eon Flute. Alright, this is what I'll end the video with. Okay, so if you look in the trailer, our ride Pokemon looks like it comes out at the climax of Area Zero. So I've been having this theory going on with my videos that Kieran might steal our Koraidon and Miraidon. And some of y'all submitted a theory building on that idea, saying not only might Kieran steal Crichton Miraidon, but maybe he will awaken a terrestrial state with your Crichton Miraidon. So imagine when you're versing him, he sends out Terrapagus and your Crichton Miraidon, and it terrestrializes into a new form. If you look in the trailer, it kind of looks like they're not exactly happy or just using their signature move. Kind of looks like a cutscene where something's happening to them. Ku did say, what will he snatch from you this time? I would be enthralled if this evil man goes even more evil and also steals our ride Pokemon just temporarily. You know, while we're trapped in the core of Area 0, he steals our Crichton Miraidon, he fights us with it, we beat him, we get it back, and then we use it to fight the big Terrapagus battle. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, if Crichton Miraidon eventually awaken flight, maybe you temporarily get it, but only after this point with Kieran, after he steals your Crichton Miraidon, that it gets permanent fly. If you don't do the ultimate terror raid against Terrapagus with our 3 friends, Arvin, Nemona Pony, Arvin, Nemona Penny, maybe it could be like Sword and Shield, where 2 of the members of the raid, you know how it was just Zacian and Zamazenta? So maybe it could be you, Carmine, Briar, and your Koraidon or Miraidon versus Terrapagus. Obviously, it's more fitting it'd be our friends, but I like being special. I don't want them in the core. This key art here is too cool. I don't want them involved. All right, make sure y'all shank that like button. We got more to discuss about stuff in these trailers. Y'all can submit your theories. Also, I mentioned this in the previous video, but if Kieran survives this whole arc, when we go to Unova Remakes, I want to see this man standing somewhere as the new Red. You fight him and he has super boss level Pokemon like Red and Steven. We've had rivals like N where there's more to their character, but we've never had rivals that go through such crazy changes in their character. Like, he went from so shy and nice look at him, to insane. I've really come to like his character, so I'm really excited to see how this DLC plays out in just 6 days. So make sure y'all shank that like button. Let me know your thoughts. We got more to talk about in these last few days, so I'll see you on the next video. Take care.